All right, Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kudash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone we learned this truth from. They are the real prophets and leaders of all Israel today in these end times, leading you to the correct way to salvation, bringing out nothing but prophecy and truth, the raw truth, man. All right, so double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. I'm not officially a part of their camp, but I learned strictly under their teachings. Just had to put that out there as a disclaimer. All right, shalom to you, Akwaf in order. Shalom, and shalom to Israelites on the highways and hedges, giving up your bodies as a living sacrifice. Shalom to you, brothers, man. Prophecy, 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 man. It's all going on. It's all happening. You know what I mean? I just had to bring this out on the fly, so we'll see how this goes, man, because I ain't got a lot of time. I got to rush off to the plantation soon. But you know, I can't leave without speaking on this, because you know, this is basically my only chance today to really do it. So you know, what's just occurred as of hours ago, I think like 8 hours ago roughly, you had what is it, Iran got attacked by Israel, man. You know, because they have all these underground weapons facilities, and they're talking about building more and more, right? And it's a threat to Israel, right? And Israel is basically crapping themselves and trying to take care of this problem before it, you know, spirals out of control and becomes even more of a problem for them. Now, the way Israel's mentality is that you know, if we can't rule, or no one can, you know what I mean? Their mindset is that, you know what I mean, if you try to blow us up or you're a threat to us, hey, we're gonna blow up the whole world, man. And this is their mindset, because they're absolutely madmen. Because you got to understand, it's Edomites living in that land right now, man. Okay, and it's all being exposed in these end times. All right, so I wanna share my screen real quick, and I'm going to bring out the book of Habakkuk, right? Start chapter 2, starting at 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved, right? So what we're doing is standing upon our watch. This is us in the end times, standing upon our watch and letting you know the current events, as far as, you know, things going on in the world that relate to prophecy, man, so that we can warn the house of Israel, the sheep, you know, the ones who hear the Lord's voice. We're warning you as to the times we're in and what's occurring, man. All right, so verse 2, it says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, right? To run means to be quickened or come alive, made alive, right? So it says to make it plain upon tables. Now, this is what we do when we bring out these lessons. We make it as plain and clear to you as we possibly can, so that you can understand the true gospel, man. Okay. Now, verse 3, it says, for the vision, right? And the vision is the prophecies. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, right? But at the end it shall speak and not lie. And now it's speaking loud and clear. These prophecies are jumping off the pages, man. It's undeniable, all right? We're going to bring out a few more scriptures to prove the times we're living in, right? So it says, though it tarry, right? Because it seems like it's taken a long time. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So be patient, man. You know what I mean? All the things we've been prophesying about will come to pass, regardless of how these people think we're crazy, you know, their incredulity and all that. Who cares about all that, man? They're the ones that are crazy for not being here and doing what we're doing right now, man. We're living in very serious times, and all these people are doing is being distracted by bread and circus, thinking this thing is a damn joke, man. These people are about to cook on while they stand on their feet, and they don't even care. They really don't care. You know what I mean? They're not repenting. They're not getting themselves ready. You know what I mean? But we are, you know, us that are not asleep like the rest of these people, man. All right. So I want to bring out a video, right? Just keeping you up to date as to what's going on. I downloaded this because if I play it on YouTube, it's going to get all choppy and stuff. I've put that to the test in the past, but this is done by Jason A. I probably won't play all of it. It's like 13 minutes long. I'm going to play a bit of it, and then I'm going to bring out a few prophecies concerning this clip, man. This is basically keeping you up to date as to what's going on in Israel right now and Iran, because Iran, from what I understand, they've already retaliated, right? But basically, this is the start of World War III, man. You know what I mean? You've seen it brewing up, wars and rumors of wars. We'll bring that out in a sec, but this takes the war to a whole new level, man. All right, check this out. Lord willing, you can hear this loud and clear. All right.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons.
Can you believe he said genocidal rhetoric, man? How is it rhetoric? You are, before the whole world's eyes, you're committing genocide, man. But this is the Edomite for you. This is what you're seeing right here. He calls himself a JEW. This man is a fraud. He's a damn Edomite, man. The devil. We've been trying to warn you about these people, man. Natural born liars, man. Unbelievable. He said genocidal rhetoric. Can you believe this guy? What a joke, man. For all you people still thinking that these people, you Christians especially, thinking that these people are the real JEWs, you're a fool, man. And the Lord's going to destroy you, man. It's too late in the game for you to be falling for their crap. But, hey, it's prophesied that, most of the world's going to be deceived. So it is what it is, man. To hell with you. You got to go, okay? That's why we ain't going to shed a tear when these bombs drop and you get caught in it, man.
In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before. Steps to weaponize this enriched uranium.
And that's because the scriptures say, let the weak say I am strong. Let me quickly bring that out. Let me see real quick. Hopefully I can get back to where I was. I don't think so, though. But anyway, right? The scriptures say, let's bring this out real quick, man. This is why they're getting the enriched uranium, and they're building these underground facilities, right? Because they're flexing their muscles against the bullies, man. Israel and America, man. All right. Oh, good. There we go. Joel 3. That's right. Right. So this is Joel 3 and 9, right? It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And this is what's happening, man. They're all gathering into that Levant region, man. Into what the world calls the Middle East, right? The Lord is strategically placing them there because it's prophecy, man. They're all drawing near in the Levant region, ready for the big, great battle, right? So it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, see? And this is what you're witnessing. He said it with his own lips. Benjamin, not a JEW, through, right? He's talking about how they're built, getting enriched uranium, and they're out there building nuclear weapons, man, because it's gonna fulfill, right? Not only are they letting the weak saying they're strong, because Iran used to be known as a weak country, man, but now they got Russia backing them up So now all these other countries, Africa, they're all rising up against the West, man, because the weak are saying they're strong. They've been bullied and plundered for so long, you know, showing weakness, and Esau the bully, how our damn jerk, an asshole, will take advantage of take your kindness for weakness. You know what I mean? That's how people do. That's how people that are assholes do, man. They'll take your kindness for weakness. I've had it happen many times in my life personally, man. You know what I mean? But they actually think you're weak. But now the weak are saying they're strong, right? So let me bring this out real quick, right? Because he said that he's worried about Iran nuking his country. So he's trying to eliminate that threat before it happens, right? Check this out, because it's prophecy that that's going to happen, right? So it says in Jeremiah 49:20, it says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that he have taken against Edom, the Edomites, the so-called white man, starting with the elites, right? So he says, and his purposes that he has purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. He says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is Israel, man. That's the least of the flock of the Edomites, right? Because those are Edomites in that land. But they're going to draw them out into World War III. That's why he struck Iran, because this is fulfilling prophecy, man. It says, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So the Edomites' habitations, whether it be America, Israel, right? And all these other countries that possess nuclear weapons, because if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, man. So these countries that possess nuclear weapons, even England, man, they're all going to get nuked off the map, right? But this is just showing you that Israel is getting ready to be purged with fire, because that land has to be cleansed with fire before we can go back into it, man, because they've defiled our holy land, man. They've defiled it, right? Especially in Tel Aviv and this very month, right? Which is GAY Pride Month, an abomination, proving they're not the people of the Lord. Where does it say in the Bible that when the Lord returns, they're going to have GAY Pride Months in our land, in the Holy Land? Let love be love. They think that's righteousness, man. These people are wicked as hell. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them by nuclear fire. All right. So Iran is going to get the victory in the end, man, as well as Russia and, all these other countries that are fighting against the West, man. They're all going to bomb America in the end. America's through, okay? Because America is what the Bible calls Babylon the Great, man, right? The daughter of Babylon, okay? Now, proving that where it says, therefore, it says here, the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Edom, right? So he's going to make their habitations desolate with them, Edom, right? Let's prove that they're the ones in that land right now. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36. I'm starting at 2. It says, thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. So this is what they say in their mind, man. They're basically saying, aha, rubbing their hands together like little rats. Yeah, we have the ancient high places. We have the land of Israel in our possession. See? Evil, right? All they do is the thief cometh not but for to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's all they've proven to do, man. That's their history. That's so-called white history, man. Rape, robbery, and murder. That's their history. They ain't got no culture. That's their culture, man. Is death, right? So it says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate, right? Our people, they've made us desolate, packing us in ghettos and slums and all that. You think the Lord ain't going to retaliate against them for what they've done to us? You crazy, man. They ain't riding off into the sunset with what they've done to the Lord's chosen people, and that's just it. Game over. Hell no, man. It says, and swallowed you up on every side. Right? Redlining, Jim Crow. They've put up, set up systematic forms of oppression, right? Systematic oppression that we can't get out of, man. We need the Lord, our Savior, to deliver us from this, man. Yahweh Shai, not this fake ass Jesus that they gave you, man. Okay? It says, and they swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession to the residue of the heathen. See, we're a possession, man. We're in captivity. You still got to eat GMO foods. You got to breathe in chemtrails. You got to drink fluoride, man. Okay? As an example, right? You ain't got no sovereignty. You ain't got a seat in the UN. It says, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people. See? All over World Star Hip Hop, right? Let's pull up this word infamy, man. Infamy. It says the state of being well known for some bad quality or deed. Look at them looting. All they do is shoot each other. You know, all these things they say, they're just rappers, they're just drug dealers. You know? And this is what we've become among the people, right? It says, and are infamy of the people, see? It says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the words, and talking about Israel, the people, not that land where the gutter rats are. No, not the people there, right? This ain't talking about them. It's talking about us, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true biblical Israelites, the real Israel, right? Because Israel is a people before it's a place. So it says in Ezekiel 36:4, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power to the mountains and to the hills, right? The big governments, small governments. It says, and to the rivers and to the valleys, and to the desolate waste, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which become a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Right? It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. What is Idumea, man? You know, you should know this by now, but let's pull it up. Let's see what it says here. Edom, see? Which is a so-called white man. Edom and Idumea are two related but distinct terms. It says they relate to a historical contagious population, but the two two separate. It says I ain't gonna read everything, but basically in a nutshell, right? Because they ain't gonna give you the true understanding. They're gonna beat around the bush, but Idumea is Edom, which is the so-called white man. Okay, so when it says here, let's go back to it. Where was we? Where was we? Yeah, I'm gonna read it from the top again. Slakia, right? Ezekiel 36:5, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Idumea is Edom, the so-called white man that's living in our land right now, posing as us, right? And fake JEWs, they're Idumeans, man. It says, which have appointed my land into their possession, right? The land of Israel, they're dwelling there right now, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. See? The spiteful minds, man. It says, I think that's it on that. But just letting you know who, I just, I had to bring that out to let you know who is in that land right now, right? Because this is why it says in Jeremiah 49:20, I'll go back to it real quick. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he has purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So Edom is getting ready to be desolate, man. The people that are in that land right now posing as us. Talking about Edom, man. You know? Let's go back to that video real quick. All right. Salakia for that. Check this out.
And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
Caitlin, something
He said this is a threat to Israel's survival. Now, they're not going to allow that threat to go what's the word? they're not going to allow that threat to go unaddressed, right? They have to address that threat, man, right? It goes down to this right here. It's called the Samson option. For those of you that don't know what the Samson option is, right? This is what Israel stand on, man. Okay? It's basically a last resort option. You know the story of Samson. He was chained up between the two pillars, right? And he knew he was facing death, so he said, "F it, I'm gonna take everybody down with me," right? And he pushed those two columns, and the building came down, killed all them people, right? That was in the building, right? So this is basically what they're saying. It's a last resort thing. So if they're threatened with nuclear weapons, they're like, F it, we'll take all of you with us. They're talking about blowing up the whole world, man. These people are madmen that need to be stopped. And you think the Lord's going to allow them to do that? I mean, you know, nuclear holocaust is coming, but he's not going to allow them to get away with what they're doing, man. Okay. You know, because they have a sick agenda to enslave the whole world with their MOTB, right? So the Samson option, right? I'm going to read this. The Samson option refers, you can see it right there. Its Samson option refers to Israel's deterrent strategy of massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort. See? Because they deny they have nukes. And this just proves that they do, man. Okay? Because they're natural born liars. It says, against any military threat that could destroy much of Israel. See, so any military threat against Israel, they're going to use the Samson option as a last resort and basically blow up the whole world, right? They don't care. They'll start a nuclear holocaust, man. It says this strategy is designed to ensure that if Israel faces existential threats, it would respond with overwhelming force, potentially using its nuclear arsenal. It says the concept has significant political and military implications as it underscores Israel's commitment to maintaining its security in a volatile region. So there you have it, man. Just like Net and Nutter Jew said, right? Let's go back to the video, all right? And we'll close this out in a minute. Check this out.
Just heard from a senior Israeli official who says that according to Israeli assessments, there are very high chances that the entire Iranian general staff, including the head of the Iranian general staff of the Iranian military, and several senior Iranian nuclear scientists were all eliminated in the Israeli strikes tonight. I hear that again from a senior Israeli official who says that several senior top Iranian military commanders, including the head of the general staff of the Iranian military and senior nuclear scientists, have all been targeted in those strikes. And according to IDF assessments, there's a high chance that they've been eliminated.
You think Iran is not going to retaliate for that, man? They already killed, what is it, General what was his name? General Soleimani or some shit like that. I forget. A couple years back, man. And they ain't forgot about that. They want revenge for that, man. And they know America and Israel are hand in hand. They're best buddies. So you think they ain't gonna retaliate against Israel after killing more of their top guys? You crazy, man. You know? They done kick the anthill. It's about to get nuts out here, man. You know, and everything we've been prophesying about and telling you people about is about to happen. So you best take these times serious and take this prophecy serious, man. Take this gospel serious, man. I tell you what, if I wasn't in this truth, I'd be crapping myself right now if I was you, man. You know? If there was ever a time to repent and get right with the Lord, need I say more, man? Anyway, let's play some more of this.
I mean, that is really striking intelligence, if that is accurate.
We don't at this point, Gadi. No U.S. involvement, according to two U.S. officials. But the Israeli military has begun airstrikes against Iran, according to those two U.S. officials. Now, Gadi, this is hugely significant.
I was just thinking about it, man. They always stirring up some shit. Israel is a big ass problem. The whole world's fed up. They ain't, they ain't gonna be left unpunished after all they've done in these shortcut few years since what, October 7th? Couple years, what, 2 years ago was it? October 7th? And look at all the genocide and shit they done stirred up with Lebanon, Palestine. They got the whole world in an uproar, which fulfills prophecy, uproars of the people. You got protests everywhere about free Palestine and all that, man. You know? Just they've stirred up an anthill, and this is just gonna take it to the next level, man. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, man. Boy, we're living in some exciting times. Exciting times, man.
And it represents a major break, it seems, with the Trump administration. President Trump earlier today had been asked about the possibility of all this, and he said that it could very well happen. But the president also coming back and saying that he hoped it wouldn't because he thinks it would blow it. In other words, referring to the nuclear talks with Iran, which the administration has said it has made some progress on. Now,
for years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the State of Israel, planning and advancing concrete military plans to do so. Over the past,
like, that's a bad thing. I mean, what good has Israel brought to the earth? Name me one thing. If you can think of something off the top of your head, man. You can't. Like, what have they brought to the earth that makes them deserve to even be here, man? Nothing but genocide. And causing trouble, man. That's all they do. They're evil because they're Idumeans, man. They're the worst of the Edomites, you know? And the Lord is going to destroy them, man. Amalek's out of here, man. Okay? He's going into extinction. To hell with you damn devils, man. You out of here, man.
Last few months, intelligence has shown that Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon. This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat. We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future and for our children's future. The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people and will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared both in defense and offense to defend ourselves. The IDF will continue to defend the State of Israel.
especially the last several weeks, though. President Trump has tried to reach out to Iran more so than Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would. There seems to be a break, and that's a rare break between Netanyahu and Trump. And this is all, again, hugely significant. If this does indeed turn out to be the case, we don't yet know the scope of all of this, but we know over the last several days, the Trump administration has pulled Americans out of the region because of this concern. So this is not unexpected, but it does really escalate things in that region and raises the possibility of an all-out war. Now, President Trump...
An all-out war is inevitable, okay? So it don't matter what they do, it don't matter about peace talks and all that. Prophecy is what's going to stand, okay? So all you people that are still investing in this world, trying to make a living for you, man, you don't know what's going on, man. You know, World War III is coming. You're going to be affected, right? And whatever hopes and dreams you have and aspirations in this world is getting ready to be shattered, okay? But, you know, me and my brethren, we're in this safe sanctuary. We ain't got to worry about these things, man, okay? We made the smart move while you lot called us crazy, right? We'll see who's crazy in the end, man. I want to bring this out, right? Because like I was saying before, because I actually haven't watched this video that I'm playing right now. This is the first time I'm seeing it too, right? I know Jason A brings out some heat, right? So I thought, you know what I mean? I'll go ahead and download that and just bring that out, because I'm sure there's a lot more clips that I could go into, giving you later updates as to what's going on out there. But you know, I'm doing this on the fly, like I said, right? But I want to show you this because I did say that they're getting ready to go into extinction. Those fake JEWs, man, them small hats. They're in our land right now. Those Idumeans. They're gonna be that land is gonna be obliterated, and wherever they've trying to flee to Ukraine and all that. Hey, hey, we're gonna find them, and they're getting ready. You know, when the Lord returns, we get them new bodies, man. We're gonna find them when we get turned into hunters, like the scriptures say, Jeremiah 16:16, right? We're gonna get turned into hunters. We're gonna find Amalek, man, and he's out of here, right? And it's gonna fulfill this prophecy right here in the book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 14. It says, "And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book." It says, "and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua." And this is the point. It says, "For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven." See? Out of here, man. Extinction. These small hats that have caused all this trouble in the world, right? They think the world needs them. Delusional, right? They're getting rid. They're out of here, man. They're through. Okay, that's the end of them. You know, that's why we relax in the Lord, man, because we know the outcome. And we see all this stuff happening, and people marching and protesting, and scrambling, trying to find ways to overcome this. Hey, it's already written what's going to happen, and we lean upon prophecy. Like I said, man, this is Exodus 17:16. It says, "For he said, because Yahweh have sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation." The Lord ain't dealing with them. They are the children of the devil, man. They are the devil that the Bible speaks about. Okay, and they're out of here, man. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna close out with this because as we've been saying, prophecy is gonna speak loud and clear in the end, just like I read in Habakkuk, man. All right. And now it's speaking loud and clear. And these are the prophecies that we've been bringing out for a while. This is the book of Matthew, right? Chapter 24, starting at verse 3. It says, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" Meaning the end of Esau's world, not the end of the world as a whole. The whole world ain't going to blow up and then boom, we're all extinct and that's it. It's the end of Esau's rulership, man. That's what it means. So it means the start of the rulership of us, Yasha Allah, man. Okay, which means he, Prince Power in the Hebrew, right? So Matthew 24:4, it says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you," right? Because there's many deceptions, especially with the rise of AI in these end times. It's getting crazy out here, man. So you got to be on your guard, all right? It says in verse 5, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed," or the Hamashiach, "and shall deceive many." So you got many false prophets, many deceivers saying that, we have the truth, right? Follow us. We are the way. We're the anointed. And then you know them by their fruits anyway. So if you get deceived by them, right? It's your fault, man. It means the Lord didn't want you because you ain't right. Verse Matthew 24:6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." And what's going on right now, man? Nothing but war. And it's only going to keep increasing because this is the time that we're in. Exactly what the Bible said would happen at the end times. As well as the rise of the MOT being the mark of the beast. That's with the development of the brain chip and all that. Wake up, man. What time and you still got people thinking we got another 1,000 years and so, man. Nuts. That's just crazy, right? It's clear as day what time we're in, man. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled," right? And it's he was talking to his disciples, which represents the elect in these end times, the followers, right? The true followers, man. Right? Because the rest of you, you should be troubled because it's not good news for you. Do you think he was talking about the whole world? Don't be troubled. It's fine. I'm gonna save all of you. No, he's talking about the elect when he's speaking to his disciples. It represents his followers, man. Every one of you out there that ain't a part of this truth, you have every reason to be fearing right now. Okay? But you should, you Edomites are through anyway. Scriptures say, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. The cup shall pass through to you. So all your job is to have as much fun as you can before this World War III reaches its peak, man. And them nukes start flying. So just have as much fun as you can, you Idumeans, right? But for the rest of you that hear the Lord's words and follow the true God of Israel, right? Which is Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, right? You're right. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See? So the end ain't yet, but we got a little bit of time to go. Lord willing, not much, right? Because we want out of here. But we know certain prophecies have to play out. So it ain't the end right now. We can't say tomorrow we could be out of here. No, that's not realistic, man. Okay? So we're patient, man. We've been patient. We understand that, we're on the Lord's time, not our time. We just gotta be patient, man. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, man. Just a quick thing, just to let you know what's going on and how it relates to biblical prophecy, because this is the time we're in, man. All right. But I gotta get ready to rush off to the plantation in a few moments. But it was my only opportunity to bring this out. So now you know what's going on, how it relates to prophecy. So, you can watch the news and keep up to date and see that, hey, the Bible is undefeated, man. The Lord's word don't go out void. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. Lord willing, you were edified by this lesson. All right. We'll close it out. Give it all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash, Shalom.